I want to see some cute styles for
Absolutely.
a brown little girl. And I just wasn't finding it. So that's what had me start to formulate. Spending $60 a week on hair care to change this little baby hairstyle is just not going to work for me. I would do their hair on Sundays and post it on my personal social media. What ended up happening was like basically people would be like, what's in it? And I would put the whole list. They like, can you just make it for me?
Hi, thank you for joining yet another episode of Get Set with Lissette. This is where we have inspiring conversations that empower you to get set. Today's episode is a special one. There's a reason why. First off, I met this couple randomly at the Capital City Mall during the holidays, literally around this time last year. And since then, I have been rocking their products. I use PS It's Natural, and I am a happy continuing to come customer. So this is a special treat, guys, especially if you're in central Pennsylvania. They're not local, but let me tell you, they come often, they come all the time, and their products give what you need it to give, okay? You see the curls. So I'm like, seriously, your products brought my curls back to life. Like, I have been telling people that I was on a journey of trying to, well, let's go back. I used to put a lot of heat on my hair. For the longest, I used to straighten it over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And I finally embraced the big hair. I embraced the curls. However, all that heat put me in a position where like trying to actually get my curl pattern back was really, really difficult. I can say this, and it's a true testimony. I have been using your product since last year. My curls, the definition, all of it is coming. So it's here. So when I say I'm excited for you guys to be here, I'm so excited for you guys to be here. So
thank you for having us.
No, thank you. So we've got Shakeem and Donna, the owners of PS It's Natural. So now every time I start an episode, I always do, I'm talking just 4 questions, quick, rapid fire, don't overthink it, just what first comes to mind, questions. And it's a matter of like, are you, all right? So the first thing that comes to mind. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you sweet or salty?
Salty.
I'll say sweet.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
I can't hang, so I'm going to go with morning.
Okay.
I could do pretty much both, like a hybrid, but I prefer to get things out of the way in the morning.
Okay. Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Oh, all day. Okay.
Oh yeah, she
all
is.
Day.
She's a big introvert. She's a big extrovert. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm more so like an introvert to people, like until I get to know people and
understood.
Then, with my people.
Then you turn up, kind of thing. Okay. And this one, there is no wrong answer. Are you gonna watch the YouTube or listen to the podcast?
I'm gonna do both.
I know that's right.
I'm gonna do both.
She said third option.
Exactly, both of them.
Both of them. We gonna put them out there. You want to hear what you sound like, but you also want to see what you look like.
Yeah, you need the visual.
Yep, absolutely. Some I like to listen to. But this, I'm on this. I want to see.
I know that's right. She's like, I want to see. I want to know everything.
And she's going to make sure I don't listen to it without her or watch it without her.
He better not.
Oh yeah, you can't. That's like a rule. It's the same thing when it comes to like watching like episodes and stuff. Don't you dare go ahead.
We gotta get our snacks. We gotta get ready.
You gotta get ready. You gotta get set. There it is.
Get set.
There it is. That's how it is. Well, one of the things that I did was I actually looked up information about hair product. Well, not even just hair products, but like textured products and also just natural products in the industry, because I do think that A, there's a need, and B, there's been a movement where individuals are starting to understand how bad chemicals are for you, how bad they can hurt, and especially for individuals with like different textured hair. It's a journey to try and figure out what works, how to manage your hair, how to maintain it, how to care for it. So I'm going to give you some stats, and then if anything resonates or if you have like, let's talk about them. So in 2021, there was a survey by Statista that revealed that 66% of U.S. consumers prefer natural or organic ingredients in hair products, with an emphasis on products that are free from sulfates, parabens, and silicones. This trend is particularly strong among consumers with textured hair who tend to prioritize products that offer gentle yet effective care. Right?
Bingo.
She said bingo.
Bingo.
In 2019, there was a report by the NPD group, and they found that curly hair products had accounted for nearly 30% of the hair care market in the U.S. So curly hair specifically, like there's a need and there's a market, 30%. Now, here's the interesting part, though. This is where we go.
Because I didn't even know that part.
30%, yep. There's a growing interest in diverse textures, and brands are increasingly catering to a wider range of hair texture.
Right.
Now, this is the part that's interesting, though, because the black hair care market alone is estimated to be worth more than $2.5 billion.
With a B.
With a B.
Yep.
In the U.S., right? And then it said in 2021, so just 3 years ago, Black-owned beauty brands represented approximately 10% of the market share in the broader beauty and personal care industry, including brands catering to textured, curly, and coily hair types, right? In recent years, there's been a growing push for inclusivity and representation in the beauty industry. 2021, they were doing a lot of surveys, okay? Another one in 2021 by McKinsey & Company said 43% of consumers are actively seeking out products from Black-owned or minority-owned brands specifically. So there's 43% of people that want to support their communities, right? However, only 20% actually are Black-owned or minority-owned.
Right.
Yeah. Finding that some are not, even though
and
it
even
says
then. So, and I remember when we were just speaking prior to even getting started, of that 20%, I wonder if even of those are the numbers even less, because we're learning that some that are identifying themselves as Black-owned or minority-owned are not, in fact, actually fully.
Right. Nope. And those numbers, they could be skewed either up or down, because a lot of Black-owned or small businesses isn't even registered properly, so they wasn't accounted for.
There's that.
Statistics, but all in all, the numbers is kind of concerning if you're not in the industry. But by us being in the industry, it showed that we're in the correct industry.
Oh, 100%. It shows that you're needed. It shows that there's people.
That point that you made before, the B in billions, when you said like kind of makeup, and I want to point out that I think it's just because as a Black woman, I feel like we have the most versatile hair. Our hair comes in so many different textures.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, other cultures, I'm sure, mixed texture, but like I have a child right now. I have 3 daughters.
Right.
My third daughter hair is a mix of both of her sisters. Like, how do you have, she got a lot going on in one head.
In one head.
So many different textures.
Exactly.
And she's just one child. So you absolutely, like you said, need to find the right products. That's nonsense free, because you want long-term
I love that. Nonsense free. Talk about it.
That's what I say. Like, it's not, because people get all wrapped up like, oh, I don't do that. I don't know what's going on with that. I just use regular stuff. It's like, what's regular stuff? Like, it's just nonsense free. Like, it's not a bunch of fillers and a bunch of unnecessary ingredients in the products, and they're effective.
100%. And going into the idea of the natural part of it, the reality is like we consume so many chemicals, and we like as just a person, period. Like whether it's the food we consume, the skincare, then you add hair and everything else, like none of those things are actually good for you. So finding something that I'm loving, I'm going to go ahead and use it, that's nonsense free, that's going to go ahead and do what it needs to do, ensuring that you're actually okay when you're utilizing it, because again, anything you put onto your skin or on your scalp, like it's going to kind of like seep in.
It goes to the bloodstream.
It goes through your bloodstream. So you need to make sure that you're being careful. And then you know what we need. Like you understand the importance of, like, when I say I am that person, if you had seen like my bathroom counter, like I was one of those people back in the day, like I've had different brands, different things.
Product junkies.
Is that what you call it?
They call it, product junkies.
I'm a recovering product junkie, because I couldn't figure out like what would work. So every now and again, I would be like, all right, well, let me try this because they say that this helps with the definition. All right, well, let me try that because they say that this is going to, you know, like I'm that person, like I'm like running my fingers through my hair in the shower. I'm like, when I'm washing it, like I'm doing everything that I can to get the knots out, get everything going. And like, so whether it's shampoo and conditioner, which I do use your shampoo and conditioner as well. And let me tell you, by far, like when I say that I use their products, guys, like this is not any kind of like promo. Like I use their products. When I'm talking, I'm not going to digress. Like I bought it last year. And when I saw them around recently, I made a whole U-turn on my like day of shopping to say, oh, they're at Capital City. I need to re-up. Like, so I say all that to say, having something that gets through the tangles, allows the leave-in conditioner that I use allows the texture to like work through it, keeping everything going, but then also defining my curls, allowing them to regain their shape, keeping the fullness, making sure that it's also not frizzy, because that was one of my things.
Tell them.
Like, I'm speaking out of experience.
All of that without weighing your hair down.
That part.
That's the part for me.
Without
weighing your hair down.
No, I've had people that have like, oh my God, let me like, they want to like touch my hair kind of thing, but that's a whole nother conversation. We're not going to do that. But they have ever since I've started this journey, like, oh my gosh, your hair, like how? And I'm like, P.S. it's natural. I've shared your Instagram pages.
We appreciate you so
much. Like I'm being serious. All right. But all that to say, you've got gold in your hands, okay?
Thank you.
Like legitimately something that works, something that's proven. I'm loving it. So let's talk about, though, the backstory.
Okay.
Right? Like family dynamics. How did the two of you even meet? You know, where do you guys come from? Like let's just go backwards on the journey and then work our way to what we've got going on now. I always like to like, where did you start?
So I am born and raised in West Philly.
Born and raised on the playground.
Yeah, the song. Yeah. Born and raised in West Philly.
Yeah.
But then, so, you know, I'm the youngest of 5 girls. So I have a bunch of sisters. So hair has always been a thing.
Yes.
And all of our hair is different.
Okay.
I think my curls are the best, though.
I mean, hello. I get it.
No curls today, but, you know, follow us and you'll be able to see.
Yeah.
But then I knew that I wanted to, you know, go to college and stuff. So I was very, very focused.
Okay.
I've always been a focused individual. And then I signed up to go to this college program, you know, to help get a scholarship because, you know, I come from West Philly.
Hey,
like the
same. Yeah.
52nd Street, 53rd Street area of West Philly, not on the Winfield side where Smith is from. So, you know, wasn't that much money going on. So I needed scholarships and things like that.
Absolutely.
And then I met this handsome fella in the program. It's called the Partnership Program.
Oh.
And we were at Westchester's campus for what, a week?
I believe it was.
It was a week. And then it was an extended program the following year. We were there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we connected there. And
so y'all like high school sweethearts?
Yeah.
We
didn't go to the same high school, so I don't know if we still qualify, but we were in high school.
Y'all were in high school.
But it was like since we met, it's been like an inseparable thing.
Oh, yep. I love that. So she's from West Philly. Where were you at?
Uptown.
Okay.
Uptown in Philly. Uptown to be exact.
Okay.
You know, just growing up, I am the oldest boy in the house.
Okay, so she's the youngest girl and you're the oldest boy.
In the household. It was for us in the house, but we had 2 additional siblings that lived outside the house, but I was the oldest boy within the house. Went to the program. How did I even get to the okay.
She's like, that's your story to tell.
One of his friends helped him get in the program, and I thanked her, by the way.
Oh, you had a friend. Okay.
Yeah, no, she was.
You had to write an essay.
Right. She was just like a real platonic friend. But she, you know, seen where I was getting into, where I was headed. So she was like, you know what, you going to this program I'm going, and got me in. And
so she knew that you were going the wrong, and she said, oh, no, we about to.
She got me together.
And what's funny about this whole thing is when we were there, we stayed on the campus. And she was my roommate.
I love that.
She was my roommate. And it was so fun. And I was like, it's so crazy how things happen.
This is what you call like serendipitous. Like this is that serendipity. Like, no, y'all were meant to meet each other. Y'all were.
And I've been stuck with her ever since.
Oh, stuck? Now we know.
We just actually celebrated 10 years married.
Yep, and 20 years together. in October.
Congratulations. Oh, I love that for you guys. Let's go ahead and celebrate love. What? Yes. I'm loving it. Yeah. So y'all both did this program clearly to get you college prep, college ready. What were you doing before PS is Natural? Like, what was your background in?
So we both actually went to the same college.
Okay. Did you go back to Westchester or you went somewhere?
No, we went to Lincoln University, LU.
Okay.
Undergrad and graduate for me. So I have 2 master's degrees.
Talk on them. Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 master's degrees, clinical background. So, certified therapist.
That is
no, certified social worker and an actual clinical therapist. So I've done both. And I never knew which one I liked more. So I stayed dipping my hands in both. So I did social work full time, but then I always had like a part-time therapy
I know I liked you.
Yeah. Always had a part-time therapy job, whether it was school-based or it was like I've done family therapy, I've done individual therapy, I've done drug and alcohol.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've done it all.
Yeah. That's why I said I did a little bit.
Yeah. Because people ask all the time, like, did you go to school for chemistry? I'm like, just a little hood chemist. Like,
hey, it works. So I don't even.
Just a little hood chemist. But no, my background is clinical.
Okay.
Yeah, my background is clinical.
All right. And you, sir?
Just social services.
I love this.
Did a lot of working with the youth, like a lot of at-risk youth. Whether it's like detention. Detention, kids that's locked up. Teenage parents. Did a lot of that within the school district of Philadelphia.
Same. Okay.
Then I recently did some work with adults, with the mental health population and drug and alcohol population.
That is crazy. So I don't know if I do believe in energy and people just being drawn to each other. I don't know what it is. But I'm a firm believer because I also come from a social work background. I started my career in social services, as you've seen when you started looking at my background. And I believe when you actually have a heart for community, like when you genuinely want to help individuals, it just, whether you stay in the venture or you veer off into this venture with PS is Natural, which is what I loved about you guys. From the time that I stood at that table, you saw genuine care. You saw genuine oh no, these 2 really want to make sure that I found the right product, that you were listening, active listening, understanding what was going on. And I genuinely believe that when you care about people, all good things will work for good. It'll just come back to you because you're doing something based upon good.
Yep.
Right.
And your heart is in the right place.
And your heart is in the right place. Because I honestly, and I'll say this, I did not know their backgrounds were in social work. And yet somehow, some way, I continue to find individuals that are community focused and that are genuinely no, I did this out of something good to bring to.
Right.
And so, and that's a perfect segue. What brought you to creating your hair products?
And it's so funny because I was not giving up on my little clinic. I had a clinical dream, okay?
Talk
I was
about
going to have
it.
A retreat. I was going to have office space. I planned on having individuals work under me. I was going full LS, LCSW.
Yes,
okay?
Licensed clinical social worker.
By the way.
Yeah.
So my second born, so I was a girl mom up until 2 years ago.
Okay.
Finally got me a boy, y'all.
Go ahead.
So we have 4 children.
Okay.
My oldest 2 daughters, always referred to them as PS, so that's where the name comes from.
That's my next question.
All of our children names start with a PRS. That's their initials, and I always had this thing with PS. I even have a tattoo that says PS, I love you. So that is my thing for them. Yes. So for me, it was always them. And I was never the mom that called their daughters princess. It was always doll baby for me. They were my real life dolls. I would dress them up and, all of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So my oldest daughter hair is exactly like mine. Out of a family of 6, she and I are the only 2 with the exact same texture.
Okay.
Now my second born, her hair was totally different than what I was used to. She is more of a 4B, 4C texture, really thick.
Right.
The porosity of her hair is totally different than mine. It stayed dry when I wet it. I'm like, where's the water? Type of thing. So when I was doing her hair, I noticed that the styles just weren't coming out the way that I was accustomed to.
You were accustomed to,
And I'm just like, why are her twists not juicy and swelling up and just looking good? You remember how the twist used to look like a phone cord back in the day? So that's what resonated with me.
Right.
And I am the youngest of 4. I do have some thick-haired sisters, but they're older than me. So when they were in ponytails, I didn't, you know what I mean? But the one that's right above me, her hair is super, super thick, like that 3-year-old of mine. She has a mixed texture going on.
Okay.
So now my daughter, but the problem came in that she was only 2 years old.
Okay.
I didn't mind buying quality products.
Right.
I just mind buying quality products every week when I wanted to change her hairstyle.
100%. Especially
because there was no
when,
versatility.
Right. Yeah.
So if I wanted to braid her hair, give her ponytails, give her twists,
right,
give her a braid out or a twist out or a bun, I had to use different products
for each one.
So I went to YouTube University like anybody else
about
would.
it.
And I'm like, okay, let me try to find someone with a similar issue. But I just kept finding adults. I'm like, it ain't no kids out here with this kind of hair. I don't want to see an adult do their hair. I want to see some cute styles for a brown little girl.
Right.
And I just wasn't finding it. So that's what had me start to formulate.
Okay.
So yes, I do the formulations for all of the products.
I know that's right. You talk on it.
And so I began to formulate products. And actually, I remember speaking to a lot of people, like my sister, his sister. Well, that's my sister too. You know, my friend at the time, like my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all think she would look good with like the twist, like the 2-strand twist? Y'all think she would? It was like, yeah, she would look super cute. So that became a staple for her.
Okay.
She was always twist, and then we would do a twist.
Do whatever
out.
you could,
we still
right?
Did braids,
right,
and stuff. But the twist just always looked
that worked
so
for her.
Good on her, and it was so versatile with the twist outs, and stuff like that. Inspired me to start doing it myself. Like I started trying to do twist outs on my hair,
on your own hair.
Found that braid outs work better for me, but you know, same concept.
Yep.
But it was just an issue. I'm like, she didn't even peak in hair length yet. She's 2, spending $60 a week on Haircare to change this little baby hairstyle. It's just not gonna work for me.
Absolutely.
So the hair butter was actually like one of the first.
Really? Which I live by your hair butter.
Because it gives you maximum intense moisture.
Absolutely.
That lasts without weighing your hair down.
Right.
So even if, no matter what I wanted to do to her hair, it gave that moisture and shine that I needed it to. That I needed to give. And I didn't have to touch up her hair every other day, like adding stuff in it because it looked dull.
So how did you start like mixing the products and getting like figuring out like what worked and what didn't work? Like what was that process like to find something, especially when you're doing it for like this daughter in particular?
Right.
Yeah.
So with my child, so with my girl, like no, you know, it's not like there's nobody more important. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like my household.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm going to go as far as I need to go for mine.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Of course, it wasn't like a first time thing. Like, all right, this is not working. This is not working. I was always big on hot oil treatments like that. So I got a stylist. Shout out to her. But she know I'm not like a regular. Like I don't come.
I understand that. That's how I
go
am.
like a couple times a year, maybe once, twice, unless he's taking me on a hot date. Maybe I'll go 3 or 4 times. But I go annually for a trim.
Okay.
Or if I feel like I'm really, really not taking care of my hair, I'll call her up. Like, girl, I need you to check me out. But I maintain my hair health with hot oil treatments. That's I'm old school like that.
Okay.
And you know, our system
absolutely
at PS is natural with our heated deep treatment. And I was doing that to the girls.
Got you.
So that's how I would get a lot of moisture and hydration in her hair.
Okay.
And then I was just using like the butter just as the regular styling product.
Okay.
But then I would do their hair on Sundays and post it on my personal social media. It was Dollhouse Sundays.
Okay.
And what ended up happening was like basically people, you know, always knew like I'm gonna keep the girls together. And they like, their hair looks so good. It always looks so healthy. Look how long it's growing.
Right.
And I would always, all right, this is what they're getting today. And I would post it.
So you were just on your own social media platform. Like you're starting to say, look, I'm finally seeing progress. I'm getting things together for her. And you're like almost giving like a progression. Like,
and it wasn't even intentional. It was just like I'm doing like, you know, you just post random stuff.
It's social media. That's
dinner.
What we do, right?
I just used to post Dollhouse Sunday. And we would make gel and we would make the products and stuff together and I would post them. And it was fun. And then one Sunday, and people would be like, "What's in it?" And I would put the whole list. I put
so you were giving your entire.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's right. She said all that.
It never had. I never had the intention
giving
to
everything,
giving it to people. They like, "Can you just make it for me?" I'm like,
there it is, because people are lazy.
I'm like, I am in school for another master's. I got
for
2
your
jobs.
third, or was this during your second? Oh, thank you, Jesus. I was like, hold on.
An internship. My kids got activities. My husband working. I ain't got time to be making y'all no products.
Right.
It just was not giving that for me.
Right.
So I kept saying no.
Okay.
For 9 years.
Really?
So if there was a day, this is how I knew that it was real and intense.
Okay.
And he always said, you give people too much access to you. So I didn't
he
post.
Said, yeah. He over
I
here
didn't
like,
post one Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So we chilling at night. I finally hop on a gram. DMs flooded. Did the girls get their hair done? What did they get? Did they get it washed?
You
did they get
made like an actual, like, people were waiting for Sundays.
Yeah. Now, mind you, my personal page is private because I show my babies on there.
Fair.
So it's not like I have like this large following. These are people that I
these are people that know, like, and trust you.
And they're like, can I just meet you in traffic? Just give me whatever's left in the bottle. I'm like, y'all are really nuts.
So you're like, no, that's a product junkie.
Yeah, and he kept saying, like, because the proof is there. Like, you can see me doing the girl's hair, and I'm putting it out there. And people don't want to be cutting up avocados and banana and mixing them up and putting it in their hair. They just did not want to do all of that.
I'm one of those. Right. I ain't even gonna lie.
And I get it. And if you do it wrong, it's a nightmare because trying to get
that out of your hair. Exactly.
So what ended up happening was for 9 years. People were consistent. And he like, I told you to bottle it up and sell it.
That's one of my questions. I was going to ask, as you're talking, I'm like, who is your target audience? So like, you made this for your girls, but who uses the products?
So who uses the products is everyone.
Talk about it.
We have customers from all different types of backgrounds with different types of hair. Like I said before, Black people hair is very versatile.
Right.
So it works for everyone. So the lightweight versatility aspect is what gets it. So our products are formulated to enhance your natural hair state. So whether your hair is curly, whether your hair is coarse, whether your hair is dull, whatever it is.
Right.
Well, that's not a natural state, but you know what I mean.
I get it.
In terms of that, so if your hair, even some of our white customers, a lot of their hair is meant to be like bone straight, but they suffer from frizz.
Right.
So our shampoo, conditioner, and of course the styling product, the leave-in conditioner, works well because it helps to eliminate that frizz. So once they wash their hair, and then they condition it and rinse it out, they add a little bit of leave-in. I always recommend doing while wet.
Same.
But when you see us in person and you come to our store, you can sample our products on dry all day hair, and it still gives you the vibe. Right. So if I was to put it on my hair, not in this state, obviously, but if it was curly and I had some frizz and I put it on there, you would literally see before your eyes it disappear.
Absolutely.
So in addition to that, what was I going to say? So the products, again, we formulate to increase your natural curl
state.
Pattern.
Right.
So we all know that curls need what to thrive? They need moisture. They need hydration. Right. So our hydrating shampoo and our detangling shampoo, like that, those two factors, you're able to manage your way through the curls.
Right.
Alleviating tangles.
Absolutely.
And you're able to, you know what I mean? It's giving you all of the hydration without making your hair dry.
Absolutely.
From a deep cleanse. It's deep and gentle. All of that. And once you rinse your hair out and you start to style,
you're good to go.
Literally.
And so you have to be clear. So this product, while it was made specifically for your girls, like, it's good for all the gamut, all hair types. And when we say all hair types, not just all curl textures and different textures and things of that nature. Like, it doesn't matter the kind of hair or your background, like black, brown, white, it doesn't matter. Like, this lightweight product is for you.
Yeah, no matter where you are in your hair journey either, because there's a misconception that only naturals can use the products.
Right.
No, it's just a natural alternative.
Right.
There it is.
Our biggest misconception is that it's only for Black people.
Right.
It's not only for Black people. Yes, I am a Black woman, and I just so happen to formulate. So we started out of necessity for our child, but we expanded in full brand mode for the mass population.
And there it is.
I'm glad you got to cover that, because that's important to say.
It's important to know. And that's important so that people know that this is literally for anyone. You can find what works for you.
Yeah, all three of us up here have totally different hair textures, and all three of us use it.
Yes, we do.
Pretty much.
And there it is. So which one finally made the, like, oh no, this is something, we've got something here?
He just told me, let me know when you're ready. So
you knew.
Yeah, I knew.
Around like the 8th year.
Okay.
I really, behind the scenes, I talked to him and the girls, because it was just the girls at the time. And they were like, yeah, do it, you know? So I went on my social media the next time people asked, and I was like, all right, y'all, I'm going to really give it some thought.
Okay.
I'm going to give it some thought, and I'll let y'all know. But the whole time behind the scenes, I was working on it. And then we popped up with like a little promo video saying that we going to drop soon, and it went crazy. And people were so excited.
And they were excited for it.
Oh, yeah.
So by year 8, was it by year 8 for you, or did you know before year 8? Like, at what point were you like, because she's doing this on a weekly basis, and she's like, look, I was just doing this for my girls, and this is just what it was. And you know that you got something special because people are following it. At what point did you say, no, we've got something here?
Right. I mean, I've been noticed that we had something, but it was around like year 8 because.
Okay, so it was around the same.
Yeah, because once you continue to do stuff, it just become a part of the regular household stuff, right? Doing the kids' hair. It wasn't really like nothing big or shocking.
Okay.
You know, but the community was already curated by accident by her.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like anything purposely done.
It just happened organically, just like your products.
Yep.
And I just still think that I always be like, this is insane. Like,
right.
Because I had to switch it up tremendously to market it for the mass. Like,
right.
It's different when you're doing something at home. Like, I'm able to make conditioner and put it in the refrigerator.
Right.
Fair.
Without a preservative. Like, you know what I mean? Now I have to find like a preservative that's, non-carcinogenic. That's a lot. That was a lot of pressure for me.
Right.
And anybody who knows me know if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Same with him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not given just putting out anything.
Right.
So I'm like, this is a lot. And it's so funny because I would change the formula up all the time.
Okay.
And he like, I think it's fine. I'm like, it's not fine. Like,
because you knew. You were like, I know what I'm looking for.
I'm like, this butter is not light enough.
Okay.
He like, what you mean? I'm like, it's too heavy. Like, I need it to be light.
Which it is. It's extremely.
And I didn't even have like this full vision in the beginning. Like, I wanna host a lightweight.
That's my question.
Products.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. Like everything that just happened, it happened like by design, I guess. Like already something that's far beyond.
Yes.
Because we started in 2020 when we launched. I've been formulating.
Crazy.
That child is 14 today. So I've been formulating that long.
For years. Because you're like, I've been doing this way back when for her. And she's 14
that we don't even sell yet.
I know. You better. Okay.
So it's coming though.
I know that.
But you know what I mean? So it's just like, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And the more I did it, the more I got into it. And the more my girls grew in the different styles they wanted, different products I had to acquire. Like right now, my 14-year-old is like pressuring me. We need edge control.
Oh, okay. Like, so she's already making you aware.
I'm like, girl, I don't even really use edge control. She's
right.
like, well, I do. And my edges is getting thin because this edge control is ripping my hair out.
It's messing her hair up. It's ripping it out. Okay.
And I was like, I told you don't use it. But, she wants her baby
14,
hair.
And she wants to have the baby hair just like anyone else.
Exactly. So I'm just like, okay, so the pressure is on. The pressure is on, but I do plan to get back into, I do have some formulations down, but the holiday season is a very, very busy time for us.
Absolutely.
So once all of that died down, I'll start trials for the new products.
For the new products. So, and that was my question. So you've already basically answered. I had asked like, when did the shift come? So the shift just came naturally after like year 8, when you've been doing this for a while and you realize, no, people really, really want this. They need it. And they're also not willing to do it on their own. And so from that shift, right, when you realized it was something, you had to learn, like, how long did it take then to, like, curate the product as we know it today from the time of, like, you making it for your girls? Like, we went left real quick, but it's because this is an interesting, like, question.
So, you want me to answer?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
He's like, go ahead. You can.
So, because, all right, it took, I want to say, like, a year.
To, like, from inception to, like, final product.
So from inception that we're going to do this to final product, it was 1 full year.
Yeah.
Because once I started to do it for the mass, now I have to create something that works for all of these different people. I don't do y'all hair every Sunday.
Fair.
So I just do everybody hair in my house.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I need this to work for everybody.
Okay.
So that lightweight situation, that's where that came about, because it can do what it's supposed to do for everybody.
Right.
But some people have really fine texture hair.
Fair.
And it's easily weighed down.
Okay. That's fair.
What I mean? Some people
add
color to their hair and they need to keep it properly moisturized or it's going to start to break off.
Fair.
So it needs to be lightweight if they're going to wear like a heated style.
Okay.
So in terms of both of them, I know for a fact the oil, it was like 2 weeks before we, 2 weeks before we launched.
Before you launched.
The formula.
Are you serious?
Yeah, formula got changed 2 weeks before we launched.
So you made a decision. We're launching on X date. You had been working on this for months, a whole year basically.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks before launching, you said, no, I what brought that about?
Like, I had a dream.
I can't. Okay.
So I know people probably think that I'm like nuts, but
no, I love this.
Like
that's passion.
I just feel like it got like what I saw him. He just was looking at. I'm like the ancestor comes to me. The ancestors come to me in a dream, because it's like I'll just wake up. I can't even remember which oil it was right now.
Okay.
I can't remember which oil it was right now, but something happened in a dream. I woke up in the middle of the night and looked it up and seen the benefits of it. And I can't even, and it's so crazy now because the further we get away from it,
from
the
its
less
inception.
I remember. It's kind of like it happened the way that it was supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
It almost was like it wasn't even me, almost. Because it's like, why can't I remember it?
Right. You're like,
4
I
years
just woke up.
Ago. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But so much has happened. And to be clear, within that year, it wasn't just like working on the formula. It was like the labeling and the bottle.
Which is another question. I like, because you guys seem, and just from having this conversation, you're intentional in every piece
100%.
of PS is natural.
Yeah.
So like, and I mean, I don't want to spend like crazy, but I do like this part is important. The origin story is so important. Like how, like you chose every piece of everything, right? From the name comes from your daughters, right? And so you just knew it was going to have PS, or like, how did that come about? You were just like, that's natural.
So originally the thought behind it was like, whatever the product is, it's like, PS is natural. Like, by the way.
Right.
Like a by the, which I love. That's how that's how I interpret it.
Yeah.
But
so that's how that happened. But then honestly, when I was working at a hospital, and shout out to her, she was
like everybody knows who's who.
She was a art, because I've got to give people their flowers. Art therapist. I was telling her about it, and I was like, I kind of wanted to have, like, I was helping. She kind of helped me sketch out the logo.
Wow.
Like a raw sketch. She was like, something like this. She was like, I don't know, this is like the best I can do, but based on what you were saying. Took it home, brought it back, and I was like, this is it. I can work from here.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay.
So that's where that came from. But everything, and I like when we first started, I'm like, everything matters. He like, I asked him a question about something. He said, don't matter, you can do either one. I flipped. Everything matters.
Okay.
So now that's both of our notion. Like he like, you're right, everything do matter. Like,
and now, and so you get it now. Everything matters.
Everything.
So for launch, because I'm also gonna allow you guys, like, they have an entire brand. Like the amount of products you have it's phenomenal. So for launch, what was that initial launch? Like what products did you first launch out? And then what did that look like? Like how did the progression of adding on? And you're only going to keep going from what it sounds like.
So we originally launched with, some people say 2 products, some people say 3.
Okay.
Is the Perfect Blend hair oil and the hair butter, but we had 2 different fragrances.
Okay.
So some people would say 3 products, some people would say 2.
I would say 3 because
3.
Because I've had 3 actually different
butters.
Yeah. So
I just say 2 because the butters, all the formulas are the same. The fragrances are just different.
Hey,
but tomato, like give us starting off with 3.
Okay, so y'all had 2/3.
2/3, and then with that, like the beard care stuff came because
on that too.
Because I used to always just use all of regular hair stuff, and she like, listen, we going through this too fast,
way too fast.
So then she started getting in the kitchen, formulating.
Okay,
and then the baby collection came because during COVID we had 2 babies.
Because y'all was busy during COVID.
I mean, we was stuck in the house, working from home.
Decided to finish up the family. Why not? Ain't doing nothing else.
Ain't got nothing else to do. Might as well finish the family.
Yes.
But an important thing is from the beginning.
Yes,
I did say this brand is going to grow with our family, but we do want.
I love that.
We do want customers to help it grow too, because I'm only doing this because they asked for it.
Because they asked for it. So you said from the very beginning, the product in and of itself is growing with the family. So 100%. As the family grows, everything that you add on is based upon what's happening with your family as well.
It is a full-on family brand. So our signature collection is for all things hair. Men, women, and children can use it. We even have some fragrances that are conducive for smaller children and babies. The men's collection. So there's something for everybody in my household, like an individual product or obviously a collection. So the men's collection for my husband, of course, because he's the only one in there with a beard, because it's beard specific currently.
Yeah.
And then our baby collection, I started formulating that when I was pregnant with our 3rd child.
Oh.
So we have a cream and a head to toe oil to help with things that babies, are prone to when they're born, like the chapped skin, cradle cap, baby eczema,
diaper rash.
baby, acne, diaper rash.
Right.
So it helps with that.
Okay.
And then
the fragrances,
the fragrances came about because we have a boy, and just being in a house full of girls, and then just having my dad. So 6 girls and then my dad. And my dad had hair for a while. Like he had braids, he would wear his little fro. And I remember just like saying to my mom, like one time in the store, like, you don't think daddy, like, you don't think you should get something else? Like,
you think you want to smell like cherry blossom?
Yeah, and she's like, he don't care. He gonna use. I'm like, but that's probably by default. Like,
right, he's using it because he has to.
But
you don't think he actually wants, right?
Yeah, they have fragrances that don't smell like your favorite perfume. They have some a little bit more neutral. But she didn't care, right? And he really didn't care. He didn't give a lot of fuss. But I just felt like, why not consider the guy at least
talk about
it sometimes?
No, yeah,
and he
bring him in.
Like, you want your own stuff? It don't matter. It don't matter. And it's just like,
yes, it does.
I'm like, if I had me a son, he gonna have to have something because he's not about to be in here smelling like passion fruit. It's just not happening for me.
Which I do right now.
Not when he can have something else,
right?
Now, that's all that's left, son. I'm sorry. We got to do what we got to do, stay strong. But
absolutely.
You know what I mean? But then in terms of the individual products, like I said, the butter is for my daughter, my second born. She is the PNPS is natural. So our oldest daughter fuss all the time.
Okay.
She's like, why is it not SP? I'm like, because first of all, we're not from South Philly.
Right.
And secondly, it really was more so a cause because of Paige.
Because of P.
So it makes sense. And she doesn't like that because she's the oldest, but that's her thing. Right. But the butter was for her, and my oldest daughter, she has a dry crown. And for me, how oil treatments are, that's where that oil keeps her scalp
nice, clean, and moisturizing,
clear, and treated. Yes. So then, like I said, the men's collection, and then the baby collection evolved.
And then the baby collection came because of the fact that you were literally having babies.
Right.
And then we did fragrances because we had a son.
Okay.
His fragrance is called Prince Charming, by the way.
Because he's your prince.
He is.
Which, again, don't have little ones, but same texture, same, like it's, everything felt lightweight. Because I remember like just going down the gamut when we were sitting there and you're like, if you want this works for this. If you want that. So, all right. So we've got the men's collection, beard specific for growing beards, maintaining beards, moisturizing beards. You've got all of the hair products from hair butter to hair oil to shampoo, conditioner. Like you've got it all in like 3 to 4 different fragrances at this point, which I'm telling you, they're amazing. Last fragrance I got, I want to say was it passion fruit or
tropical passion fruit?
Tropical passion fruit.
Pink,
it's pink. Yep. Phenomenal. You've got your baby collection for Prince specifically, Prince Charming, right?
And we have Fairy Tale for little girls.
And Fairy Tale for, you see, guys, they have a little bit of everything.
And non-scented for the babies.
Yeah, we do have complete. So our diaper cream is completely unscented.
And diaper cream that's completely unscented.
And it works because it also works for like eczema patches and stuff like that. So it just nourishes baby, and reheal the skin, but it gives them immediate gratification. So if it's itching or inflamed or hurting or whatever, it just kind of soothes them.
Okay.
And gives them immediate gratification.
So now let's talk about the journey. So now you've launched, you've got things going. You just went straight head first vending, like, because I'm going to also discuss the store, but before because they actually have a brick and mortar guy, like they've got it all. So let's talk the journey. Like what then got you from launch to where you are today? Like, let's talk about that.
Well, not even that. Like the launch was crazy because we sold out in less than 24 hours.
I love that for you.
Yeah, we sold out in less than 24. And it's funny because the person who ordered the last product reached out via DM and was like, I meant to order last night, but I fell asleep. Well, so we would have sold out like 6 hours, something like that. But then like vending, we're always about trying to improve. Like, let's take it up a notch. Like if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. But how can we take it up a notch?
Okay.
In addition to that, every year we set goals for the business. So you can go ahead and get it.
Okay, so talk about those goals. So I love that. You're being intentional with your business.
Right, very, very intentional. And I'm real big on like industry standard. Like, like, you know, like when you was getting into like how the product looked.
Absolutely.
And you know, like real big on the industry standard.
Okay.
But when we first launched, we didn't do any vending because, mind you, we launched in 2020.
Right.
The world was shut down basically.
Yes, it was.
So we was pretty much like, I don't want to use the word restricted.
And
but, online based.
Got it.
That's what we was doing.
Okay.
And then I believe at the end of 21 or 20.
What?
No. February of 21.
February was our first vending.
We did our first vending.
Okay.
And out meeting the people and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then 2022 we did more events and started spreading out a little bit.
Okay.
2023.
Yes.
That's when we started spreading out a little bit more. And that's
That's when I met y'all.
Yeah, that's when we started coming up here.
Yeah.
Quiet as kept. This is like one of our top markets, this area.
Really?
Yep, the Harrisburg area.
Y'all better go, Central Pennsylvania.
They
Harrisburg.
definitely show up and show out. Of course, Philly is our primary area because that's where we're from. But I believe Harrisburg is our second or third.
Wow.
Y'all big dog out here.
Okay, Harrisburg. So you know that the products are good.
And I think that's like from being intentional, coming up.
Right.
And just, you know, continue to curate the community.
Okay.
Coming up, getting the people, getting involved and stuff.
So you've taken your time.
Yeah.
And for everything, you started web-based. You made sure, well, besides the fact that you started at home, now it's web-based specifically out of necessity because of grew that, have a following, have a continued baseline, stay true to your baseline. From there, you're now going and you're like, okay, now let's actually expand and like share. You stay kind of local, and then you slowly but surely start to like expand your reach. So you've been intentional with every step. You didn't want to like bite off more than you can chew is what it sounded like.
So in the beginning, so the year goals came in just because it's like, all right, first year we kind of getting our feet wet. Like we need to see what's going on. Like even from the launch, everybody who ordered received like a shipping notification. Then we received another one because we did it wrong.
Because you did okay.
Yeah, but it's just like it's a learning curve. So then next year it was, what was our goal? It was brand awareness. So that January we went to Atlanta.
Okay.
And we did a vending thing there.
That's smart.
And we
huge hair market.
That was 2022, I believe.
So it was the second year.
Well,
that was the pop-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the third year, and that was we came out with a new product, but it didn't hit the site yet. So our PS's natural family wanted leave-in conditioner.
I live by your
and that's why we made it. I was never really a heavy leave-in conditioner. I always wear my natural curl in the warm months. A lot now, way more often in in the last.
Because you got your leave-in conditioner.
Yeah, but when I was younger, it was always like I wore a wrap during the cold months. And then I wore my hair
natural in the summer months. Yeah. Right.
But I never really was a leave-in conditioner user.
Understood.
I just know that the water-based leave-in I didn't like.
Okay.
So like having the lotion style hair one was a preference of mine.
Okay.
But we did that because our customers wanted it.
So you're listening and you're 100%. Hearing. Okay.
But we did a vending event in Atlanta and we showcased it there for the first time. And then once we came back, we launched it on the site.
So you watched to see how it went. So again, with the intention. So what I'm hearing is intentional from beginning to end. You're making, and I also heard, can I get it together? I also heard goal planning. So every single time you did something, you're also creating goals on what your focus is, what you want to do. All right. So then discuss the store. What led you to wanting to do a brick and mortar, and how did that happen?
Him.
What you mean, me?
Him. I did not want no store.
Okay.
I said the only way I'll have my products in a storefront is if we had a salon.
Okay.
And for the record, I would not be styling hair. I would be doing treatments only.
Okay. I was gonna say, so let me find out you got another gift.
Let's just go all the way. I can do hair.
Okay.
Let's just go all the way back. I never in my life wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. So that
Not
wasn't.
really.
Are you sure? Because you said you wanted to have your own.
So initially, but then he started to talk me into it, like with my clinical stuff. Like, well, you can do this and you can do that, and I'm like, I mean, I guess he, So it was a conversation. I bring everything to him. So I was like, oh,
right. You guys are partners.
Yeah. I'm like, he was like, instead of working under somebody, you can just be that person and have people working in there with you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like that I can do that.
Right. So you're the entrepreneur by nature.
Oh yeah.
So you're all about like, let's create something, do it yourself. If you're going to do something, no matter what, why not do it for self?
100% that is him.
Okay. And with you, it's like, I'm doing this because I want to do this. I've got the passion to, at first it was helping people, and it's always still helping people because you're still helping very much. But I want to go ahead and provide therapy and services. I want to ensure that I'm helping individuals. So you're just like, you sound like, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, passion driven. And then with you, it's like, we'll take that passion and make it for self.
What is interesting is I
love this for the two of you.
I'm always open to like ideas.
Yeah.
But I kind of just want to do the work. All that other stuff. That's why you keep hearing me say that's a you thing.
Right.
That isn't like I can't. It becomes too much.
Right.
Especially like I'm the one formulating. Formulating is hard enough.
I
do not have time to be worrying about the stuff that he's worrying about.
Right.
Like I cannot. Like and we have our tasks.
But I love it. You know your skill sets. You know your strengths. You know your areas of work, and you balance it off of each other.
Yep. But going back, even still, I still could have carried out my clinical dreams without being an entrepreneur. But this right here, I love The only thing that not the only thing, but what I did love about him opening my eyes to the clinical piece was like, okay, you can use your creativity and do like a retreat for, the couples who may seem like they're going to make it in therapy, stuff like that. And the creativity here is limitless.
Absolutely.
It's limitless. And I am a very, very creative person.
You're the creativity and you're like, well, then let's structure it.
Let's do the structure. Let's create the systems behind it to make it work.
Talk
smooth.
about that. Yeah. The systems are important. I feel like people don't even talk about systems and processes enough. I mean, and we're not going to nerd out on that.
No, that's
but
fine.
I am more of the like systemic, let's figure it out, do this.
I've grown to appreciate them. But I love the fact that I can delegate.
I know that's right. You love the fact that you got someone who can.
We have our areas where we are super strong.
Okay.
And Shakeem has a crazy business mind. You would think that this dude has like 1 million businesses.
Y'all about to.
He has 1 million business ideas and he knows how to execute I think that he would execute them all beautifully.
Absolutely.
But I can't.
Okay. But you've got the creativity of it all. And you're like, it sounds like though you trust.
Oh, 100%.
Because that's important. If that's the foundation, like you guys are trusting each other and that's how you build.
Oh, yeah.
So all that to say, you decided that the store was going to be a thing.
I mean, of course, we discussed it together.
Right.
But if I remember, and please let me know if I'm wrong.
Oh, she ready.
So I seen the location.
Okay.
So I'm like, I like this location.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat on it for a while, probably like months.
Really?
9 months before I said it.
Because he knew not to say nothing.
So I was, I'm talking to some of my homies, friends, cousins.
Yeah.
Like, yo, check this space out. What you think about it?
Right.
Getting feedback. So I'm like, if it's still here within a month, I'm gonna just go ahead. So I brought it up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was like, I know about this place.
You said,
but you're not going to be with it. So
he said, "Hear me out." That's what
okay. So he started.
Hear me out. When I know he said, "Hear me out,"
disclaimer.
It comes with
automatically. It's something that I would say no to.
Right.
God.
But I have to be
listen and hear him. Okay.
I heard him out, y'all.
Yeah, she heard me out. So I just frequent the area, look around. Like I like this area. So then I'm like, I think I want to reach out to the people, see if it's still available.
Okay.
She wasn't with it.
That is not how it went, y'all.
Okay, like I said, let me know if I'm wrong.
She
said, hold on,
he had it in his mind that he 100% wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And if I was okay with it, we was gonna step on it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in his mind, like 80% of him was like, she not gonna be with it. So I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So he waited until internally he was
where
prepared.
It wouldn't be an emotional response from you.
But soon as he brought it to me, he like, let's just go see it. Let's just make it that he pressed that right away. It was not no transition. Right.
Now
figured everything
remembering.
out.
Got it.
He like,
so you did the front,
everything.
like the back end already. You knew the numbers made sense. You already knew what it was. You knew that the plan could work.
Mm-hmm.
You knew the location was good. You sat on it for a while. You just needed her to see the vision.
When I brought it to her, it had a bow on it already. Here you go. This is the thought.
You're okay.
He like, he was like, I might reach out to him. Like, I think I want to reach out. I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
So we was out somewhere. He was like, it's not far from here. Let's just swing by there and go
that
see
was
it.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, it was. So I'm like, we got the babies. Nobody dressed for real.
Right.
So we have photos of this.
Okay. I love that.
So I seen it and I just kept saying, this is big. We don't have that much stuff. This is big. I just remember saying that.
You grow into it.
And I thought about it. I want to say it took me like 2 weeks, which is not long for me.
Right. Okay.
And then he like, you really want to? I'm like, yeah. I'm like.
So what made you say yes?
I prayed on it and thought about it and just started. I feel like I'm a very rational person.
Okay.
But I'm also like a super critical thinker. I'm not impulsive at all.
Same. I get that.
So we have a really good balance because sometimes he'll just move, especially
he's ready
that
to go because he's got that
he's
spirit.
ready to take all the risk in the world.
Right.
I'm like, we're not used to having overhead.
Right.
So that's going to be a lot.
That's a cost you got to take into account.
That's a risk. He's like, well, it's a risky business. I'm like, well, that is true.
Yeah.
But I really thought about it and just was thinking like, okay, what if I look at it like whatever the amount is we're paying a month.
Right.
We're paying that to market the brand. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
That in promotions, whether we're running Facebook ads
yeah.
or whether we're doing an event that costs X amount of dollars for us to be there and present in that time. And, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I mean, it's a lease. If it don't work out, we dip out.
Right. I mean, and at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's a lease. So it's a timed thing. So if for whatever reason it doesn't, I'm out at this point. But at least have that leap of faith.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm comfortable with, as long as we know what's going to, like, I don't care. Like, if we don't have the store in 2 years, like, the way that other people look at that is not going to matter, because we know, you know what I mean?
You know what you've got
going on.
A
lot of people have a fear of doing things because the way that it may look to other people. And that's not really a thing for us.
Okay.
So it's like, people open and close stores all the time. Like, we seeing what it do.
So, and that's a good concept, because I've had this conversation, and again, we're going, but it's the same thing. There's, in my opinion, there's 2 ways of looking at this. You can come from a fear of loss or from a place of abundance.
That's the thing. I was operating out of fear. That's another thing I meant to say. I knew that I was operating out of fear. And once I resonated with that, I'm just like, I can't, because now I'm just telling myself all of the things that can go wrong.
That could go wrong.
Versus how excellent this could be for the brand.
And that's exactly it. Because when you go from that, because I say that because I have been, this platform is coming from a place of abundance rather than fear of loss, because it had been a dream of mine for darn near almost a decade.
Wow.
I sat on it. When I say I had like 4 to 5 different even ideas and concepts before I did it. There was a point where it was supposed to be like a girl chat kind of thing. There was a point when it was going to be like-minded individuals in the professional world, because, quick plug, I am a licensed realtor, and this is how I actually fund this project. So if you're in the central Pennsylvania area, I'm your girl. Back to, right? So there was a point of that. And then in it, I also was like, well, then forget it. But I never thought that I could sit alone and make a platform on just Lissette, right? Yeah. Like, that wasn't something it was always fear, but I couldn't break the feeling of wanting to live by my favorite quote, which is, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Is it really?
It is, I promise. That's my favorite.
I can't.
It's like, remember like back in the day when you first got Facebook and say, what's your favorite quote?
Yes.
It's on there.
That's legitimately mine too. Like, that is my favorite quote.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Really?
To me. Like that quote, like it makes perfect sense.
100%. Because you have to be what it is that you want to see.
Once people learn that, they learn life.
You better go.
Yeah. Like you can't combat things with anger and stuff. You have to be kind. You have to operate out of love.
And then that'll be what comes back. So
and a lot of people
they don't
need now who they didn't have then, and that's why they're acting the way that they're acting.
Okay, Donna, go ahead and just explain this entire platform. Like, that's exactly where this comes from. That's where I was coming from. Like, that is my favorite quote. I want to have conversations that inspire individuals. I want to have a conversation where, for so many reasons, a lot of people, you were going through it before you made a decision to get this going. I went through it before. Like, we do things out of fear rather than thinking and saying, coming from a mindset of abundance and saying, what's the worst that could happen? Here are all the things that can go right. Here are the things that can go good. But when you let it go, you follow.
Yeah, that fear of the unknown is a real thing.
It's such a real thing.
And I also feel like I am in a point in my life, in a space in my life, just because the way things are shifting with the business and with our family and everything like that. I just feel like I'm a spiritual person.
Same.
And I just feel like I am in a season of like obedience. You know what I mean? So like I have to stay the course.
Yes.
Because if I don't, I'm going to miss my opportunity. And I always say to people, like, you have to prepare yourself for what it is that you're praying for or asking for, because it'll miss you.
Absolutely.
And nobody, like, I don't know if he's been blocked. I don't know.
Right. We don't know he's gonna come back around. You got a moment.
So you got to remember, like, biblical days, like things happen over a course of 400 years,
right,
and stuff like that. Like it ain't that type of party no more. Like, you miss your time, you may not get it again.
Amen. That's
so
exactly
for me, it's just like, take the leap of faith. Like, taking the leap of faith to be a full-time entrepreneur was hard. Like, I was scared. I'm like, I'm used to having like a certain income on a regular basis. Like,
this is gonna come. This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm just like,
because the bills keep coming.
Yeah, and we have teenagers. We have teenagers now who are used to
a lifestyle.
Yeah, right. Like, what you mean? And then we feel bad. Like, you got wait. Just give us like a week or two.
Right.
A week or two.
Because for them, they don't know.
To the party this weekend, I need these sneakers. Like,
you're like, no, give us a moment, because what you're building is is greater.
Exactly.
What you're creating is bigger than just the here and now.
But that shift.
Ooh, girl.
That feeling of being uncomfortable, that uncertainty, like, well, like I said, like, what if we short on the rent?
Right.
Well, like at the store.
I understand.
I'm just like, well, he like, we going, so he had it down to we got to make this much a day in order to at least
go
make
ahead, Shakeem, with your numbers.
You got to crunch some numbers. You
right.
gotta know, like, your average, how many customers, how much they spend.
Right.
All right, so if we get X, Y, a number of
That's
customers.
how he presented it to me.
I love that.
Do you think that we can make at least this much a day? I was like, yeah. He was like, that's how much.
That's how much it's going to be.
Just to cover the store.
Put it in perspective for me.
Absolutely.
Like, tremendously. I'm like, that ain't much. Like,
right.
That's
like,
not
I
much.
can actually do that. And you can, because at this point you guys have been operating for years. So you're like, you can project almost like what's coming and what's going on. So you have that, and from what it sounds like, I'm sure you're looking at the profit and loss all the time.
Oh my God.
And you're able to know like what the projection is.
You have no idea.
Really?
Shakeem, you ever see them videos, like those pictures where it's like the person staring and it's like all
of the things happening?
I'm like, that is this dude like all day. Like,
you're always thinking?
He is a madman.
I love that though. You need that. So the way the creativity works for you and the ancestors are speaking to you and everything else when it comes to a product, you got the numbers flowing.
So when she asks me what I think, I'm not just telling her like
a
how
random.
I feel emotionally.
Ooh.
I'm going off of more.
Because I am big on that. Because I'll ask, like, do you know this or is this like a Shakeem thing?
Right.
I'm going off of prior history.
He'd be like, these are statistics. This is statistically. And I just be like, here we go.
You got to.
But you have to. So you're like, while it's a risk, it's a calculated risk.
Very, very calculated.
That's his favorite thing. I'd be like, it's a calculated risk. I'm like,
which is important, especially in the world of entrepreneurship. Like risk are needed in order to.
Yeah, you have to.
But if you calculate it, you can mitigate the loss.
Losses, right?
Absolutely.
And I always say we grew up with like not much, so we started from nothing. So like, what can we lose? Like it's not like we started from nothing. It's not much that we can lose if we.
Isn't
lose
it amazing?
The business, we just keep it moving. Like
isn't it crazy when because I come from humble beginnings as well. I find it so interesting that like. The childhood that I had and what we really had when you think about it from like an adult perspective, like it really was like not a lot and we made it work.
Yeah.
And yet in my adulthood, how many times am I afraid to take risks, do things because I'm so afraid of like the outcome. I'm afraid of the loss. I'm afraid. And we've made it from less. And yet I feel like what that looks like.
Point of view, I totally get that because I was 100% raised on love.
Right.
That's just how it was. Like the love was there, so you didn't see
all of the other things, right?
But our children,
right? Yeah. They're raised with love too.
But they are raised in a totally different lifestyle.
And you're like,
and that I always come back to that. Like, if that's fine,
you gotta make sure that's right.
But they are not used to certain stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And that's where he like, oh yeah. I know.
And you're like, I
got we do got kids.
Yeah, like
you're like them
and you
kids still need.
You have to consider the ages. Like our 16 and 14.
Yeah.
Like this ain't the time to be slacking on there. Yeah. So we they good.
Well, y'all look, just based off of what I've used, you got gold. So let's talk on it though. What is your vision for PS is Natural? So we talked about the journey. We talked about what got you to where you are. Today, present day, you've got the brick and mortar. You got her on board. You got the online business. You guys are vending all the time, which I love. You've got multiple lines for everyone in your household and then some, which means for everyone that needs everything. What's the vision?
Don't be surprised.
PS is Natural. Is going to be, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
He said, don't be surprised.
She
said, I'm so sorry.
Because that was rude. PS is Natural is going to be the next big name in hair care. Like we are going to be the next household name. So the way that people are familiar, I'm not about to give nobody no promo, but the way that folks are familiar with what their parents used on them back in the day, we're going to be that.
I love that.
We are going to be that. What were you going to
say? Go with the don't be surprised.
I was just about to say, don't be surprised if you see PS is Natural and other household essentials expanding past hair care.
Okay. Hold on now.
I mean, I'm just saying, don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised. So PS
you just
is
never
natural.
know where things could take you.
Okay.
Because again, grows with the family.
Right.
And, I have a list of products that I want to make.
Okay.
But customers are saying like, oh, well, are you going to do this? We want, like, I love all your stuff. Like, I need you.
Let's go to the next.
I need you in a different area of my bathroom.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need
fair.
you. And I understand
because now it's all you.
But for me, I'm like, let me at least finish the things that I know that I want to create for the hair before I entertain something else.
Again, with the intentionality.
Exactly. Because like, I need to be able to give my all, but if in the back of my head, my daughter's still pressing me for some edge control, I cannot happily make you a body scrub, baby girl. It's just not going to work.
Okay.
I got to live with her. You don't.
Yeah,
right. You're like, I need to address baby girl first before anything else.
100%. And again, we listen to our customers, like I said.
Yes.
Even conditioners. So we hear people.
Absolutely.
We hear them.
And you're working in the background. So let us not. So all of us customers out there, let us not think that they're not hearing us. Mm-mm. They hear us. They're working. Things are happening. You're just being very intentional.
Absolutely, you have to be.
And I'm not mad at that.
And we have to maintain that balance of making sure the products is effective.
Absolutely.
But still stay gentle.
Right. Staying true to your brand and making sure that you don't veer off of it, which I love. Yeah. Like maintaining that integrity of the product. What about in the next glimpse in the next 5 years? So we know that you're going to be a household name. That's the vision. Next 5 years, do you have like a 5-year plan?
We do.
Okay.
Certain things we just don't speak on because we're working on the particulars, but we do have.
Because y'all talk goals the whole time here.
I just feel like we have things in mind that other people we sure are not like within the same industry.
Got it.
We want to foster bigger connections and partnerships.
More brick and mortars.
Okay.
Nationwide.
So we franchising.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love this. All right. So in bringing it all together, what advice would you give someone who has something similar? They're building something out of necessity and they think they've got something on it, but they don't know how to take the next step. What advice would you give them?
I would say get started.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to start small. Don't let people within, utilize your inside networks, your people, but don't let them deter you from your goals and your plans.
That's the whole thing right there. Don't let others.
Over 8 billion people in the world. So
he always says that.
I mean, seriously, there's only 8 billion people in the world. You probably know about a couple thousand.
Right.
If that.
Right.
If you're going to let those couple thousand people stop you from having access to the rest of the world,
ooh,
you shouldn't. We all have phones now. We connected to the world.
True story.
Utilize your social media.
Absolutely.
Just don't be afraid to start small. But always go in with attention. Understand the industry standard, whatever it is that you're trying to get into. Understand it.
Okay.
And it could be something as simple as going inside the hair store. Okay, what all these products have in common? What I don't like about these products.
Okay.
And just go off of it.
And just build from that. Anything you want to?
I would say start where you are with what you have. Perfection is not a thing. There is no perfect time. These are things that I've learned.
Okay.
I am such a wait for the perfect time.
Same.
Perfect time is not a thing. And you have to realize that you see the glory on social media and people will share the glory, but you have no idea behind the scenes story that it takes to get to that point. So don't discourage yourself. People talk themselves out of things like we just talked about. Don't talk yourself out of it. Talk yourself into it if it's something that you really, really want to do.
You better go.
Yeah.
Just she dropping gems here and there.
That's truly, truly what I would say.
Yes, you guys are both.
Just definitely because when you think that you're thinking of all the possibilities, sometimes you're really just talking yourself out. Make a list of the pros and the cons. But then those cons, like the things that are negative, how realistic are they? Like, are they normal or are they really far off scope?
Right.
And then kind of put them in a middle ground.
Okay.
So make 3 lists, I guess, like pros, cons, and then calculate those cons to kind of see.
Like mitigating them.
Yeah. Is this real? Like, is this normal or is this like far beyond the scope? Like, am I going bankrupt? Like, that's not normal. Everybody doesn't go bankrupt when they're trying to do a business. Yeah. So, and do it that way and then see where you come off. And then maybe you'll have a better,
yes,
boost yourself up a little bit more.
I am not mad at that. All right. And so then the last question that I always ask every guest, what advice would you give your younger you?
Trust the timing of your life. I would absolutely say that. Like, trust the timing of your life. And don't stop because you where you think you need to be.
Okay.
Don't stop because where you feel like you should be by now. That stuff is like superficial. Mm-hmm. It's very superficial. You have to trust the timing of your life.
That's a real thing right there. And the comparison thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, especially with social media, you see things.
That's a thing. Yeah. But don't stop. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And you, sir?
My younger self?
Yes, your younger
personally
you.
Or like as far as business?
What advice would you give younger you? Yep.
Just trust your process.
Trust the process.
Yep, trust your process. You're not going to always come out as an end product. Mm-hmm. So start where you at, do what you're doing.
Right. And keep it.
Just keep going.
You better. Y'all two are amazing. Can I just say that? I got to give flowers where flowers are due. Like,
I appreciate that.
It's one thing to say that you love somebody's product. It's another thing to be able to look at two individuals and say, you guys are really amazing individuals just as people.
Thank you.
Like, and what you're doing is important. It's needed. The community needs you. Like, we need individuals and people putting out high quality products, but also that they have high quality integrity behind it. Mm-hmm. And they stand behind their products. That it's not just a here, take this because I want to sell it. It's more of a no, like I'm giving my everything to this thing. Mm-hmm. And that's rare. And I really want to like say, I appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, 100%. So for every episode, I always do key takeaways for the conversation that we had. So I've been listening this entire conversation. I've been involved in it. Mm-hmm. So my key takeaways for this amazing conversation that I've had with these two amazing individuals. First, just get started. As he said, they were creating something out of necessity because of one of their daughter's hair, and they didn't just sit on it. They literally, we have something here. We know there's something that we want to do. Get started. If you have an idea, if you have something going on, do a pros and cons list, mm-hmm. mitigate your risk mm-hmm. and get going. Another takeaway that I got from this conversation, especially if you have a partner, is trust. Trust the partner that you are with. Trust your intuition. Trust what you have. It's nice to get input, but as Shakeem said, there's 8 billion individuals in this world, right? Do not allow yourself to be deterred from something that you feel is something that you've got internally because of outside noise. Mm-hmm. Trust yourself. Another takeaway that I got from today's conversation is take care of your home first. Make sure that home base is where it's at, and then build from there. Every single product that they've created, it was based and built upon someone in their household. So they knew what their focus was. They knew where to begin, and then they expanded that to the broader audience. So start with your home base. And then the final takeaway that I got from today's conversation is to never operate out of fear. Fear will keep you locked. Fear will keep you stagnant. Fear will stop you from moving. Have faith in whatever it is, believe, and move from a place of abundance rather than fear. So that's the takeaways from today's conversation from you guys, which, I mean, come on. There were many more. They were dropping gems here left and right. But what else you guys have coming up? Let's talk. Do you have any events, or what are we doing here? Where can people find you?
So our social media, we are on all platforms.
Okay.
Under our name. Even some aren't active, but follow us anyway.
Hey,
so
it's coming.
Instagram is PS It's Natural _LLC.
Okay.
Our email address is pssnaturalllc@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Our Facebook is pssnaturalllc. So it's not LL.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then Twitter is pssnatural. We have YouTube, pssnatural.
I love that. We'll be subscribing.
Our website.
Oh,
can we start there? Where can we get the
www.pssnaturalllc.com.
Love it.
Our location is 311 East High Street, Pottstown, PA 19464.
Love this.
And so basically Instagram is like our primary.
Absolutely.
We have a link tree there. You can get to everything from
that one link tree. Okay.
Yep.
Love that. All right. Anything else to have going on? Are we going to?
We didn't finalize our 2025 calendar yet.
Okay. I was going to say, because
it's coming up. So we're still working on it, but follow us on social media.
It'll all be present.
You'll definitely get it. Yep.
Yeah. So in short, like we do post our calendar
monthly. Yep.
And as events are crossed off, we'll post it again.
Okay.
So definitely follow us to kind of keep up
with where they're at and where they're going.
Anything else? Should I do like a
I'm
brief
sure we'll
overview?
be in Central PA probably multiple times in 2025.
Love that. Okay.
Just follow us. You'll get it.
All right. Are we doing the promo?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Go for it.
No, you can
talk about it.
If you want to utilize 25% off, put in GSWL.
Yep.
Yeah, GSWL, and you'll get 25% off.
All right.
And shop with us.
Yes, shop with them. Try them. Do what you can to support this amazing, amazing couple and the product that they have. I speak to it. I'm a living testament to their products. It's literally in my hair. All right. Lights are really bright. Everything's going on. And yet they stay intact. They're good to go. So take advantage of the promo when you get this, when it drops, so that, again, it's going to be first come, first serve. Mm-hmm. Catch it while it's hot. Enjoy what they have going on. You guys are just, I mean, when I say y'all are amazing, like, loved what you guys got going on right now.
Well, thank you for having us on your platform.
Thank you. Yes, this is going to be great things. And again, guys, like, y'all know what you need, and it's all up in here.
I do want to say something.
Please.
Be sure to check out our bundles tab.
There we go.
Because the bundles save. So just in short, I formulate products to increase manageability for all hair types. So whether your hair is long, curly, thick, tender-headed, whatever the situation is, we're going to get you together. In addition, I specialize in lightweight formulas for versatility.
Here we go.
We have a collection for everyone. Men's collection, currently beard specific. I say currently because we're not done yet.
They're not done.
Baby essentials and all things hair. Bundles tab is on our website. Mm-hmm. Check them out because they are automatically reduced in price. So you are automatically going to get more products for less money.
If y'all don't just listen and do what she did, I bought in bundles. It makes the most sense. When I say, like I said, support, try it. You're going to be hooked. I promise you, they will become the product of choice just by nature. And there's not something that they don't have. They literally have gone across the gamut. And so there's not anything that you're going to be like, but they missed this. No, they didn't. And if there's something that you feel like they did, they're working on it.
So.
To be continued.
Reach out to us. We'll consider it, get it in the works.
And we're a brand of the people. Just let us know what it is that y'all want.
And they on it.
Makes sense. We'll be working on it.
They're working on it, and it'll be a TBD. Okay? So as always, guys, sending light, sending love. Bye.
Bye.